teach you how to provide feedback and grades on an assignment in Google Classroom. Open your assignment and click on a student's assignment to grade it. There are two ways to provide feedback. One is a comment, and think of that as something you'd write on the margin of the paper, versus a suggestion, which would be a cross off or a caret or something you'd add to the actual document, something you'd write on it. So let's say I want to add a comment. I can highlight a word, sentence, or paragraph and click on the speech bubble on the right and leave a comment for my student. And press on comment. A suggestion is a markup on the paper. So let's pretend that I wanted to say trucks instead of dolls. I would actually backspace on my keyboard, pretend I'm actually typing, but you wouldn't actually type on your student's work, and just type the new word instead. So now the student's going to see replace dolls with trucks. If the student presses the check, it will automatically change dolls to trucks for them in the paper. If they clicked the X, it wouldn't. I always tell my students to make sure that they're reading all of the suggestions and comments, because just because someone else tells you to do it doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. And I think sometimes when they're peer editing, they just press the check because someone else told them to do it or their teacher told them to do it, so it must be right. So make sure that they read all of the comments and suggestions. You can even throw a few Easter eggs in there to make sure that they're reading. So a comment is something that you'd write in the margin, and a suggestion would be actually typing on their document. Then you can give them a grade. The student could get a 3 out of 3. It could be ungraded as well if you set it up and it's just check or not check for completed or not. And you might also use rubric grading, and that is a whole separate topic. This is a private comment. It's a general comment about the entire assignment instead of a specific comment about a word, sentence, or paragraph. And when you're done grading this student, you can drop down to the next student that you need to grade, and you can toggle between your students very easily. So on this one, again, you can highlight word, sentence, or paragraphs and leave comments or type directly on it. So right here, Lysol is a lowercase. Let's say it's a proper noun and it needs a capital. I'm going to backspace the L and add in a capital. So it's going to say replace lowercase with capital. And then I want to make sure they know that proper nouns begin with a capital letter. So right here is this comment bank, and I do have a comment already that says proper nouns begin with a capital letter. You can add all the comments that you feel like you repeat over and over and over and over and save yourself time. I already have this one here, so I'm going to highlight the word Lysol, and I'm going to add a comment. I'm going to start typing proper, and guess what? It pops right up for me. So when I click on it, it's already typed. So that will save you a lot of time for when you repeat things. And you'll just keep toggling. You'll provide your grade. She'll get a 3 out of 3. I can provide a comment here, and you can keep toggling through until you grade all your students. And when you're done, you'll click on this drop down arrow and click return multiple, because the return will just return this one. So I'm going to click return multiple, and then by default, it puts a check next to all the ones I've graded in this session. I'm going to click on return, and we'll return my students' assignments to them. And that is how you provide feedback and grades on an assignment in Google Classroom.